You're here with Always Ready, and Capcom is the NVIDIA of game developers. So let's talk about it. You heard me right. Capcom is the NVIDIA of game developers. And I know there's a lot of negative that gets thrown in NVIDIA's direction right now. But guess what? Capcom used to be Crapcom, and now they're on top again. They're beloved at times, and they're hated at times. I'm saying this in the best light, not because they're the biggest, but because Capcom is the company that every other one ends up following. They built the tech first, the games second. They stick to their vision. They take risks. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss, but they always push the industry forward, being one of the largest publishers full of AAA studios in their back pocket. So here's the core idea. Capcom thinks like a hardware company. So for example, NVIDIA doesn't wait for the industry to tell them what to build. That's AMD. They build the tech that creates the industry. Capcom does the same thing. You don't see Capcom really chasing trends. You don't necessarily see them copying formulas. They invest in the tech, the pipeline, the engine, and everything else flows from that. RE Engine is Capcom's CUDA, right? It's the secret weapon. This engine, like, just look at Pragmata on screen. This engine is absurdly scalable. The Switch, PS5, VR, PC, mobile, it doesn't matter. It's lightweight, it's efficient, and it's built for iteration. Now, other studios spend years reinventing tech for every project. Capcom ships polished games, albeit there's some that are just, looking at you, Dragon Dogma 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds. The engine does the heavy lifting for them. That reminds me of like when NVIDIA built CUDA and suddenly they had a decade-long lead in compute and now AI, right? Capcom built RE Engine and suddenly they had a decade-long lead in performance, visuals, and production speed. This is why we see them dropping something every year and sometimes multiple games a year. But here's where the NVIDIA comparison really lands. NVIDIA takes big swings. Ray tracing before anyone was ready, DLSS before people understood it, weird experiments like the PhysX cards. But Capcom does the same thing. Resident Evil 7 was a massive risk. First person horror, new engine, new tone, and it paid off. Now, you got RE-verse, miss. Exo Primal, niche, but it's tech forward for sure. Street Fighter 6, a massive boon, and shows so much detail in such a compact space. Pragmata, ambitious, delayed but visually stunning. Innovation means accepting misses. Followers don't innovate, leaders do. Now, Capcom isn't chasing the $200 million mega project model. They're doing something smarter, smaller, tightly crafted games with AAA presentation. Because RE Engine multiplies their output. They don't need 800 developers to make a game look next gen. The engine handles the performance, the lighting, the animation, and scalability. It's why Capcom games feel polished. It's why they run well. That's why they release consistently while other studios are drowning in tech debt. Now, I'm saying that even though, like I mentioned earlier, Monster Hunter Wilds is suffering and Dragon's Dogma 2 is suffering. A lot of systems, more open world, right? But I don't think that necessarily means that RE Engine can't handle open world games. it's going to take more investment in the scope of what they're trying to do with those environments. We can already see that, yeah, it's rough, but just from Dragon's Dogma 2 to Monster Hunter Wilds, it is improvement. And if they take another crack at it with, say, the next version of the engine, or maybe just another game with scope, maybe they get it right. Maybe they just have more time to dial it in. I mean, imagine another one of their games on that engine, but it's like Crimson Desert, right? But it's Capcom. That to me sounds amazing. But even if they don't go that route, Capcom's influence is everywhere. Their animation pipelines get copied. Their approach to horror design gets copied. Their engine philosophy, one unified tool set for everything, is something publishers are only now waking up to. Capcom proves you don't need $1 billion budget to make a game look next gen. You just need a smart engine and a clear vision. Pragmata, the latest release dropping upon us, is the perfect example. Even if the game ends up niche or experimental, it shows a studio pushing the tech, the animation system, and rendering ideas. This is what leaders do. They build the future first and let everyone else catch up later. Capcom isn't perfect, but they are fearless. They are determined. And in an industry terrified of risk, that makes them the NVIDIA of game development. The ones who build the tools and the direction that the rest of the industry ends up using. So what do you think? Thinking positively, even with some of the misses that NVIDIA takes. I think Capcom is to be praised for how they attack the problems in the industry that so many still have yet to learn.